All right, let's go. Welcome into the On3 Studios. We're live here in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome in. Get seated, get comfortable. We're here for another live commitment, and I'm excited about the big one that we have got going today. An On300 overall prospect from the state of Texas is going to be committing right here on the On3 Recruits channel. Before we get into it, though, make sure you guys are locked in. Hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. All right. Today's commitment. Who are we here for today? It's Quanell Farrakhan Jr. Now, Farrakhan Jr. is a four-star wide receiver from Spring, Texas. He goes 5'11" and a half, 175 pounds. Farrakhan is ranked as the 38th best player at his position, and he's got a ton of offers. But Farrakhan has narrowed his list down to 4. You see it: Alabama, Colorado, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. And after getting on the road, taking his official visits this summer, Farrakhan Jr. is ready to make his decision. I'm excited to host this one. Let's put on the film. Quanell Farrakhan Jr. First thing I see when I turn on the tape: outstanding speed and quickness. The quickness allows him to be a versatile weapon on offense. He can line up at a multitude of positions, but he's a very productive wide receiver. Excellent ball skills. Now, he's listed at 5'11" and a half, but plays much bigger than that as he can high point the football. Now, you can see why Quanell Farrakhan is so coveted. Now, let's take a look at Farrakhan Jr.'s social handles. Remember to give him a follow as his career is just about to take off. There it is. Hit follow. All right. I think we have Quanell Farrakhan Jr. out in Texas. There he is, ready to go. Quanell, today's your big day. What are the emotions like?
It's really crazy to me right now, but I'm super excited at the end of the day. So I just want to thank everybody that's here supporting me, and I want to thank you also for letting me be on your show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Now, we see your finalists. You got Alabama, Colorado, Nebraska, Texas A&M. What was it about these teams that made your final list?
Really just relationships. I feel like when I have relationships with the coaching staff, that really helps my recruitment. And, it just really shows how much they really want me at the end of the day because, when the coach is calling me at 12 at night, checking on me outside of football, outside of, everything else, it really just stands out to me.
All right, Quanell, it's your moment. The floor is yours. Say your thank yous and let us know where you're committing to college.
First off, I want to thank everybody that's here right now standing up. I want to thank the whole coaches that's sitting here right with me because, without them, I wouldn't be here. And I also want to thank God because he wouldn't have put me in this position if it wasn't for him. So, it's been a very, very crazy journey at the end of the day. But, it's down to this. So, I'm going to be taking my talents to the University of Alabama. Go Buffs.
It's Colorado for Quanell Farrakhan Jr. Quanell, when did you know Colorado would be the best fit for you?
Really just, when I had to talk with Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, really just, having the connection with him and the coaching staff, Coach Phillips, Coach Rich Press, them always checking up on me. And then, like I said, the little quote, when I got up there, it felt like home. And I really just felt like I was at home. Literally didn't feel like I left Houston at all. So I just want to thank them and the coaching staff for helping them bring me in.
So what moment did you know it was Colorado? Was it on your official visit? I mean, what point of the recruitment were you like, yeah, I'm going to be a Buff?
Really just, what Colorado is known for with Travis Hunter. I seen what he done, what Coach Prime done with Travis Hunter. And really just, I always wanted to play both ways. And, Coach Sanders had told me, if I earn my stripes at the receiver position, that he'll let me play defense. So I feel like me being able to impact both sides of the ball really just plays a lot.
Have you had a chance to tell Coach Prime that you're committed, or is he watching and finding out just like everybody else?
No, Coach Prime knew. I already had a conversation with him 2 days ago. The whole coaching staff already knew already.
All right, well, talk to the fans out in Boulder real quick. This is the last question. When Quanell Farrakhan Jr. steps on campus, what kind of player can the fans expect to get?
Really just a disciplined player at the end of the day. I'm going to be real disciplined on and off the field. You don't have to worry about the off-field issues. You don't have to worry about my actions on the field. I'm always respect my last name at the end of the day, and I'm going to always represent that last name. So I feel like I'm going to always be respectful to everybody, to my religion, to the players, to the coaches. So, just getting a respectful player, but you're also getting a dog like at the end of the day. Like Coach Sanders said, he wants dogs, so I'm a dog, and that's what I'm going to be.
Another dog heading out to Boulder. Quanell, thank you for spending really one of the biggest days of your career here at the On3 Recruit Channel. We appreciate it. Go celebrate with friends and family. You've earned it. Congratulations on your commitment to Colorado.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. There it is. Four-star wide receiver Quanell Farrakhan Jr. from the state of Texas heading to Colorado. All right, I want to talk more about it. Let's bring on three's Phillip Dukes from the five-star flex and see what we got here. Phillip Dukes, you were just out in Las Vegas with Coach Prime just about 48 hours ago. So when it comes to the way Coach Prime recruits, what's kind of the main selling points that he has for high school athletes?
I think when you think about NIL versus NFL, and all of the I think it's over 150 years of NFL experience on that roster, I think it's a huge selling point for Coach Prime. And the biggest part of that is these guys with the NFL experience on that staff are looking at these high school players and being able to compare them to guys that they've coached in the NFL. So by being able to identify traits that are similar to NFL football players that they've actually had contact with and can still call and say, hey, this is how I got better when I was in this position. Listen to this guy, and he'll help you get to where I am or was. I think that's a huge selling point, and I think that's one of the reasons why they were able to land Quanell Farrakhan.
Yeah, and, to all the people that say, oh, it's just transfers. I mean, he just went out and landed an On300 prospect. It's the sixth commitment for Colorado's 2025 class. So it's not all transfers. I mean, they do recruit the high school level, and they do it pretty well. What's some of the things that you hear from high school recruits, whether it's from guys in Texas or Georgia or California? What do they say about the relationships with Coach Prime and his staff?
I think it's one of those things where you have to have a certain level of maturity in order to want to go to Colorado. It's a business trip. I think that when you look at what's important in Colorado, which is respectability, taking care of your last name, which means that you don't want to embarrass anyone related to you, and also being accountable, those are things that a lot of teams aren't leading with when they talk about recruitment. But that's what Colorado is leading with. And so that's what I'm hearing from the majority of recruits is that, hey, I'm going out here on a business trip, and if I do what I'm supposed to do, there are guys and mechanisms in place that'll get me to the next level. And I think that's been a consistent and common theme is that there's a certain level of maturity that it takes in order to be recruited by Colorado.
All right, Dukes. Now we got to address what everybody in the chat's talking about. Is Juju next? Julian Lewis, the five-star quarterback, committed to USC. But now you see a wide receiver jumping on board. I mean, Quanell Farrakhan Jr., do you think this could be related to the Juju Lewis interest?
I would say they're separate. I think that the way that Colorado and specifically Coach Prime recruits, there's something that he wants. Every recruit has something that he wants. There's a plus trait in that recruit that he sees that he can develop. So I think that while these recruitments are separate, that you got to know that Julian Lewis is watching as he considers who will he be playing with for the majority of his time there. There are some talented guys in the wide receiver corps at Colorado already in the sophomore class who will be able to play with them for a year, and also some recruits from last year. But I think when you look at a guy like Quanell Farrakhan, who had a lot of schools after him, and he's not just a run-of-the-mill guy. He is a on 300 recruit. I think Julian Lewis is definitely looking and watching and saying, okay, I can see myself here.
Yeah, maybe Julian Lewis is in the chat too, watching along. But you're right. Hey, if you're going to bring in a guy like a Julian Lewis, you want him to feel comfortable. You want him to know that he's going to have some guys to play with for the next 2, 3, 4 years of his career. Phillip, if the guys haven't watched it yet, if the people in the chat haven't watched it yet, tell them about your interview that you had with Coach Prime out in Las Vegas.
Oh, it was a really, really fun time just being able to allow Coach Prime to let his hair down a little bit and have more conversational barbershop talk. It was good to see him. He actually did some preaching to me as well. So for those who want to see more of a conversational type conversation, for lack of better words, I think that's an interview that you'll enjoy. It's right here on the On3 Recruits channel. Just look up the 5-Star Flex or Coach Prime exclusive and you'll find it.
All right, we'll see you this week on the 5-Star Flex. Phillip Dukes with On3. Appreciate you stopping by this live commitment today.
Oh, man, thanks for having me. Hopefully we can do it again.
Oh, we will do it again. Thanks, Phillip. All right, well, there you have it. 4-star wide receiver Quanell Farrakhan Jr. is heading to Boulder. The 38th best wide receiver in America just announced his decision over Alabama, over Texas A&M, over Nebraska. Quanell Farrakhan Jr. is the latest commitment that will be making his way out to Boulder. And if you guys are still watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have live commitments coming all summer long. We even have one coming tomorrow that you guys will not want to miss. Thanks again for joining us at the On3 Recruits channel.